I can't not. I just can't.
Oh, hello to all the nifty nerds and the gaming goons and the joystick jockeys out there in Pixelland. This is Double Shift. Double Shift. Double Shift. This is the show where, of course, two seasoned game industry vets and Jeff talk about beating Bobby Flay. Why does everyone want to do it? And is that something that everybody has to go through at some point in their life? Because it seems like a lot of people are trying to beat Bobby Flay. But
I know.
before we get to that, we will talk about video games just a little bit. I am your host, Mikey, aka DJ Banana Terracotta Pie, along with my friend, former colleague, and currently going to the party and having a real good time. Danelle, say hello, Danelle.
Hello, Danelle.
Oof, that was tough. It was a tough paragraph sentence I just said. And then we have producer Jeff. He would be on screen this week, actually, but he forgot to grab a brush and put on a little makeup, so he's not camera ready, I suppose. Those were all System of a Down references, Danelle. That's what those were. Shout out to Armenians.
Nice.
And
very
Jeff,
nice.
What's that?
Said very nice.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Armenians with the Borat response. I love it. Jeff's going to put up our Instagram and our email right here. It's funny, I was watching one of the Halloween episodes the other day randomly because I wanted to see something that I said. And I said that, and then nothing happened. And I was like, oh, why did I watch this one? Anyways, because I think I shared it with someone as well. So Jeff this week is going to put up our Instagram and email, Double Shift Pod, all one word. And, of course, you can go to YouTube, Double Shift Podcast, and check us out. Now, before we get to this week's episode, Danelle, have you ever challenged Bobby Flay or beat him? Because I said we'll talk about that later, but I want to know now. If you've...
No.
Okay. If you were to go on, let's say, beat Bobby Flay, what would your signature dish be that you would try to beat him with?
Oh, gosh. I can't think of anything.
That's
But
good.
the
A
only
bowl
thing
of
that comes to
cereal.
my mind is shepherd's pie.
Okay, sweet. All right. Good to know. Good to know. Well, you're probably wondering what this week's episode is, Danelle, and I'm going to tell you. It's blandly titled, "Doss You Even Doss, Bruh?" And that's how you have to say it. Doss You Even Doss, Bruh?
I was trying
And
to
we'll be-
understand it in my head when I read it. Like, how do you say this?
yeah, it could have been like German sounding, or who knows?
I said,
Maybe,
in my mind, I said, does you even DOS, bro? That's what I
well,
thought it was.
right, and we're gonna trick all of our fans too when they see it on the YouTube's Double Shift Podcast. Someone might think it's Spanish. Dos, you even dos, bruh? Who knows? But
Yeah.
no, it's not dos
Oh.
or does. It's DOS, and we'll be talking about DOS games. Older than the old school that people usually talk about when they talk about old school. I'm not talking about the movie either, Danelle. So I could tell you were going to quote something from old school. Or now you're thinking about quoting something from old school, but I'm not
I know.
talking
Now
about
I
that
probably
old
will.
school. Yeah, you will at some point. You will. These are the games, Danelle, that you needed a manual to find answers for, to answer a question in order to launch the game. Like, honestly, for me, like, I talk about NES sort of fondly as like my first sort of experience, but these DOS games really were like the first, like when I was even too young to remember a lot of stuff now. But it was these
Yeah.
DOS games, right, that were kind of the first. They kind of everything that ruined everything for me. And there's been certainly with indie games in the last, I don't know, I mean, for a while now, but there's a lot of new games that are made in the old DOS style. That
Yeah.
obviously is really popular. So yeah, we're done. We spent the last 3 episodes, I did anyways, Danelle just smiled and nodded and hoped that the episode was over. So we spent the last 3 episodes talking about the last best era, and finally we're moving on. And what better way to move on than talking about old stuff than remembering stuff that's even older.
Oh gosh.
So my dad was a computer science teacher in the '80s. For a little backstory on the DOS history of my
Ooh.
household, anyways, and
Wow.
I think computer science teachers were actually in the '80s were kind of essential because, believe it or not, a lot of people didn't know how to use a computer in the '80s.
Oh
Uh,
no.
it's
Barely even in the 90s.
yeah, yeah, early '90s as well. It was still kind
Yeah.
of like what? That's what people said when they saw computers. They said what, and
Yeah.
they crossed their eyes like that. And I think that's adorable in retrospect. I can't even imagine it now. Everyone knows how to use a computer, even Jeff. Otherwise, we wouldn't have this show that's brought to you every week. Um, Actually, I was thinking about this dumb side tangent, but kids probably don't know how to use a computer as much as they should today because they're so addicted to tablets. I think there's more tablet kids than computer kids. But anyways, um, my dad used to bring home computers all the time and just set them up in the
Nice.
kitchen to like test them, mess around. You know, like they
Dang,
get new
that's awesome.
computers in the lab, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take one home." And and then sometimes he would have games on them, and he had to do a bunch of stuff to launch it, and like read this book and type stuff, and I didn't know what he was doing. But I do remember I might even be like the first game that I ever played was a game called Lode Runner. Uh, do you know Lode Runner? To know?
Nope.
All right. I might. This is so ancient. This memory. I might not even be remembering the right game, but I'm pretty sure it was Lode Runner.
Is it about
Um,
blowing loads? Wait, what?
no, well, I was like waiting for Jeff. I
He
was gonna
was
say it.
not
Some
prepared.
I know. LOL.
That's
I said
okay.
load is something that I had written down that I was gonna say eventually. Like
Perfect.
Kurt Loder from MTV, Beavis and Butthead always used to get a kick out of Kurt Loder. um,
Oh, you do that so well.
thank you. I don't know if I'm proud of doing a Butthead laugh so well, but I can do it. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think it was
Okay.
Lode Runner, and now we're just gonna snicker every time I say Lode Runner, which I'm gonna say Lode Runner about I don't know 10 more times at least in the next couple of minutes.
Oh,
So
load Lode.
yeah, no, not like
I was
yeah,
even
you.
just thinking of I don't know, like LOAD. Just who know? I don't
Well,
know.
it is. Yeah, maybe am I saying it wrong? Is it Lode?
No, no.
Okay,
I
yeah, Lode
maybe.
Runner.
Yeah.
So Lode Runner. I'm gonna just say Lode
Yeah.
Runner, Lode Runner, Lode Runner. And eventually, I'm gonna say
Load
Road
runner.
Runner, and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. Noot, noot. No, I could have done that better. I need to prepare for the meat meeps. But anyways, Lode
Let me.
Runner is a
Yeah.
puzzle platform game developed by Doug Smith. I'm gonna stop right there. This is what I loved about way back in the day. This isn't a game by Atari or Nintendo. It's by Doug Smith.
Hmm.
Uh, Doug
Sounds fake.
Doug Smith, if you nasty. Yeah, no, I know. Um,
Stupid.
Even if you're not nasty, it's still Doug Smith. But yeah, I like when games are just made by a dude. I want to make a game. I want
Yeah.
to be a dude who makes a game. Look, I
You
have
can
books.
be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
You
can
know
make.
enough.
I know a
I
couple
mean,
games.
maybe I don't know about the programming part. I mean, not to downplay your skills, but I
I don't
mean,
know. You could just Google it.
I
But
know AI nowadays probably right is
you can
have AI
AI
write
it.
you a pro.
Yeah, or if you're Reggie, shout out Reggie.
Yeah.
No, Mike, just Gurgle it. Um, but yeah,
Oh
so
God,
Doug
that's
Smith. So
something else he was talking
I,
about.
I did I did do a little research on Doug
I'm
Smith,
sorry.
and
Yeah,
this is off the rails already. And
I
I won't
know.
talk about Doug Smith because he kind of had a tragic life, but he made
Oh,
very successful
he made
game.
more than one.
Yeah, well, so Lode Runner is one of those like super popular at the time thing that inspired a lot of things and was like ported to every platform. So he probably made
Oh,
a good. I mean, I don't know the business transactions, but yeah, and then he worked on a lot of other good games, but yeah, I want to make a game, and I'm gonna say Lode Runner one more time.
Lode Runner. I'm gonna look at it now.
Well, I'm gonna describe Lode Runner to you, and I'm gonna every time
Okay.
say it now. Just like we're gonna make a drinking game out of this, or something. Every time I say Lode Runner, you gotta take a drink of whatever you're drinking today.
Water.
Um, and actually, I'm not going to describe it to you. Wikipedia is. So the player controls a stick figure who must collect all the gold in a level while avoiding the guards. After collecting all the gold, the player must reach the top of the screen to advance to the next level. There are 150 levels in total, which progressively challenge players' problem-solving abilities or reaction times. Notice how they didn't say and. It's either your problem-solving abilities or your reaction time. Jeff would fail on the latter, especially for perfectly timed sound effects. But that sounds like a game to me. Although when I played it, I just remember running around and dying a bunch of times, and I think you can dig holes too. I don't know. All I know it was a game, and I was like, these things are cool. Um, and so yeah, I remember the computer that my dad brought home was giant, and the monitor was like giant as well, and he had it like on our small kitchen table, and like I was up
Oh,
late one night, and it was loud, and it was just like really awesome. And then eventually he
wow.
brought home a computer that he just kept at the house, and then there was a ton of games that I remember playing that I was really fond of and I really liked when I was a kid. And this next game is not one of them that I at least remember fondly, and that's a less comical name, or maybe not, than Lode Runner, but it's the Adventures of Captain Comic. Well, I guess it's a more
What?
comical name then, isn't it? Because it's Captain Comic. So, and as far as I know, all these games, these DOS games that we had, I think were free. I think my dad brought them home, like buying all these computers and stuff for the college. I think he probably got a bunch of software, right? And so, yeah, I don't know. I didn't complain, so I would play whatever he would bring home, um, and it wasn't. I didn't get to do it that much because it was kind of a pain for him to launch it, and he had to read the book and do all the things,
Oh
and
gosh.
he didn't always want to do that. So, but anyways, sometimes I would play the Adventures of Captain Comic, and even when I was
Sounds
that
cool.
young, like, did you Google it? Did you Google
No.
it? Okay.
No, just the name
Um,
sounds cool already. I
well, of
don't
course it
know.
does. Yeah. I mean, anyone we come up with great names all the time. But I would play it. I would play. I would even ask to play it sometimes. Um, Maybe I needed to just give it one more chance. Um, so
Girl.
yeah, Jeff, do we have the piano sample from One More Chance by any chance? No. All right, we should work on that. Um, so the cover makes it look like it's a guy who's in like a fencing outfit, and but maybe he's also kind of a knight, and apparently he's also a captain, and he has an axe, but he also has cool sneakers, and I think he can go to space or something too, or he is from space. I don't know, and he has to
Same thing.
battle really terrifying creatures, but he kind of just comically bounces around them. That's what I remember, and
Hmm.
then. In the game, he's just kind of that's the cover, anyways. In the game, he's kind of like a blob with a blue head, and it's just like it's old school, right? It's the graphics are
Captain Comic.
archaic, but and this
Oh,
is
look at
also made
this.
by one dude, Michael Denio. It was published
Hmm.
as shareware for IBM. um, so yeah, and that makes sense actually because I think my dad had IBM computers, so yeah, we probably got it for free. And I guess it was ported to the
Nice.
NES, and who would ever have known that? Not me, I'll tell you that for free. Um, but I guess I don't know. I guess people. I was looking at I always do extensive research for these. I mean, hours and hours of research for one episode. I do 40 to 60 hours a week of research for this
Wow, you need to
one
get
episode.
paid.
And what I found is, I guess people like this game. And 40 to 60 hours of research to tell you that people actually like this game. At least as far as shareware goes, it's like the 12th. I read this. It's not. I'm not making this up. The 12th most liked shareware game of all time. And other shareware game makers cited it as inspiration for their shareware. So in the world of shareware, this is tops. And I guess I was just never into
Wow.
shareware all that much.
Oh my
That's a
gosh,
new
stop
drinking
it.
game. Sorry. Okay. Um,
It does say 4.3 out of 5 and 94% people liked this game.
yeah. No, I'm the other percentage of people who don't. I'm every percent. I'm seven. What
That's
was it?
true. You're
94,
that
93?
1%.
Yeah, I am the 1%. Um, So yeah, our hero is a knight in space who also fences and has sneakers. And space looks a lot like Earth, and you have to collect things and not die and not fall, and you jump really high. And I just thought it was boring as a kid. I would totally find it and play it again today, probably getting way farther than I did back in the '80s. And who knows, maybe I would like it. But yeah, just back then, that wasn't my favorite. I'm going to tell you what was my favorite to now. We're going to move on to King's Quest IV: The Perils of Rosella. Uh, I think it's. Did you play King's Quest? Any of the King's Quest?
No,
Okay.
I've heard of them. Like
Yeah.
I always do. I heard of it.
Yeah, yeah. And I've mentioned this game before, I think, for something, but I'm gonna do it again because that's what I wrote down. And we don't have any other choice. And I think too, and it's for me, it's one of the most important video games in the history of Mikey liking video games, which is a history that no one cares about but me. But but yeah, I asked to play this all the time, and yeah, I don't know. I think I definitely talked about it, and I wrote down that it's really good that I don't remember if we talked about it because that just means that we've done a lot of shows, and we should be proud of that. So good for us. Um, so this is a point and click adventure, and it finds our hero, the in the title Rosella. She goes off to some fairy land to save her dad. You walk around, you talk to people, you solve puzzles in order to progress. I love this game, and especially since you really had to use your imagination to play this game or the guidebook. But um, these old point and click adventures, they involved like clicking on stuff or typing actions, and so
Yeah.
without using the guidebook, you're literally walking up to everything and typing everything that you can think of to interact with stuff, like open chest, do this with that, right? And like
Yeah.
sometimes it will do it, or sometimes you'll be like, I don't understand. But you can literally type
Yes.
anything. So you had to like, you know, use your imagination. Um, and on top of that, this game scared the crap out of me as a kid, because there are so many ways to die. I remember the first time I saw the giant ogre carry me away by my long blonde locks, and you're just being dragged away, and it's I was speechless as a kid. It happened so fast, and it's so shocking, and he's going to eat her, because it kind of pauses and it said something grim on the screen, and I was just like, holy crap! And I think it actually legit gave me nightmares.
Oh
Uh,
no.
there's so many ways to die. You can get swallowed by a whale, and you can survive getting swallowed by a whale. But then if you can't escape because his tongue is too slippery, and this is real, you get too tired, and then you just kind of die in his mouth. There's like a certain way that you have to climb up his tongue to tickle his little hanging
Wow.
thing, tonsils,
Yeah.
and then he
Yeah.
like spits you out or something like that, right?
How
Um,
weird.
yeah, very, very weird. Yeah, it really did happen. And then sometimes death happens because
It really did happen.
you fall off a ledge or a mountain because the controls are crappy because it's the '80s, and
Yeah.
they make certain sections are like really annoying to walk in. You're like, you know, that's how you do it. But I still loved it despite the many ways to die. And I looked into it and I couldn't find an exact number, but it's estimated that there's around 45 to 50 ways to die in this game. And this is, if you play it in the right order, maybe a 2 hour game. So that's a lot of ways to die.
Wow.
Um, and so I actually bought this game since the '80s twice as part of the King's Quest collection. Once,
Oh.
I don't remember when. I think it was like CD-ROMs, and then second time just a few years back when I got my new computer and I got Steam, and I even have a
You
book.
have Steam?
I have Steam. Look, I
Oh.
even have a book. There's a book, and it talks
Wow.
about it.
Here's a
So
book.
I was talking about you need the book to launch the game. So
Yeah. What's
you
a
still need
book?
to do
No.
that. Oh, I can't read. Why do I even have this? But it has like little stories about it and little lore, and it has other games in here too. Even though I don't have them, it has Mixed Up Mother Goose. Do you remember that by any chance?
That kind of sounds familiar.
Yeah, it was like kind of like same gameplay as King's Quest, but you're Mother Goose. I don't know, gets drunk or something, and then all of her tails get mixed up until you have to put like Humpty Dumpty back in the right like spot and all that kind of stuff. So that was a fun one too.
Huh.
But there's
Interesting.
not 50 ways to die in that one. So
Aww. What about 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover?
that's a
Slip out
great
the
song.
back, Jack.
That is a
Make a
great
new
song.
plan, Stan. Don't need to be coy, Roy. I know. Sorry.
And then
I
yeah, he
got.
did. Can you imagine if he actually in the chorus did all 50 ways to do it?
Oh,
Um, and also, we don't need to discuss much. Is not a way to leave your lover. Um,
no, that's true.
and if anyone out there wants to get healthier and quit drinking and start eating healthier, I can teach you 50 ways to love your liver. So it all comes full circle.
Nice. That was
And you know
good.
what? That's your fault, for saying something random, distracting me, and then making me say a dad joke. It's absolutely your fault, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Um,
So proud.
Look how bored Jeff is, by the way, this whole time. It's just like
Well, no, he's been laughing this entire time up until right now. He's definitely looking at something else.
everybody take a minute to stare at Jeff. All right. So King's Quest IV, good job,
Yep.
Danelle. In order to beat this game, you do have to use the guidebook or look online nowadays. There's a very specific way and a very specific order. I don't know why I'm smacking my hand so much. I don't know how anyone could ever beat this game on their own without any clues. I doubt that's ever happened. There's just no way. You can do the wrong thing and find out much later that you can't progress. And if you don't save all the time, then you're kind of screwed. If you follow it piece by piece, I think it's about 2 hours.
Wow.
But yeah, when I was a kid, I mostly just died, but I still loved it. So King's Quest
Hmm.
4,
Well, that's what's important.
I still love you. And I did
Yep.
look at a guide. I don't know. Maybe about a year ago, I was like, I'm gonna beat King's Quest 4 today again, and I just look at a guide and do it, and it's fun. So,
Hmm.
all right, now on to another DOS classic. There's no way that you've heard of this next one or the series of next one. Well, you kind of have, but the title of the next one is Eye of the Beholder. Beholder? I hardly knew her. Sorry. So this is a dungeon crawler game. I'm going to tell you what Eye of the Beholder is. Are you ready to know? Bear with me
Yep.
here. This is a dungeon crawler game. This is a Dungeon and Dragons dungeon crawler game. There are a lot of dungeons in this Dungeons and Dragons dungeon crawler game. There are not any dragons in this Dungeons and Dragons dungeon crawler game. Well, there is a slight mention of a dragon in this Dungeons and Dragons dungeon crawler game, but not actually any dragons in the Dungeons and Dragons dungeon crawler game.
Oh
Imagine
my
that.
gosh.
A dungeon crawler game that has the name Dungeon and Dragons in the title of the dungeon crawler game, but plenty of dungeons in the Dungeons and Dragons dungeon crawler game, but not one dragon in the Dungeons and Dragons dungeon crawler game.
I can't
This
stop.
Dungeons crawler game should be called Dungeons and Dragons dungeon crawler game with lots of dungeons but not dragons, also some light crawling. So Danelle, do you want to hear me say the words Dungeons, Dragons, Dungeons and Dragons dungeon crawler or Dungeons and Dragons dungeon crawler game ever again?
No.
Okay. So this
Do
was
you
on
count how many
DOS.
times you said that though? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone can count. We have our fans out there. They analyze like by the millisecond every episode, and they find factoids like that. It's almost like baseball analytics. Facts you would stats you would never care about unless you were like a huge baseball fan or whatever. So yeah, this was a Dungeons and Dragons game. It was on DOS amongst other systems back in the day. But I didn't actually play this one back in the day.
Oh.
I wasn't allowed for a minute. It wasn't too serious, but I wasn't allowed to go anywhere near anything Dungeons and Dragons when I was a little kid.
Oh.
And that's why I didn't. That's not why I didn't play this game. It's just I just didn't play it. But like the satanic panic of the 80s and early 90s convinced a lot of moms that Dungeons and Dragons was the devil and bad things
Yep.
happen when you play it. And my mom
Yep.
was one of them. And
Okay.
she wasn't super hardcore about it. Like she heard some story. There was some story in the newspaper that dumb kids were playing Dungeons and Dragons, and one of them had a knife and stabbed the other one or something like that. She's like, "You're never gonna play that game," or basically. So it wasn't like, "Hey,
Yep.
it's the devil," but it's like, "Oh, it makes kids stab each other," and so I wasn't allowed to play it, so I never even thought about it. I think,
Yep.
and they meant like the actual, like the board or not
The
a board
board
game, but
game.
tabletop game.
Well, yeah, yeah.
I think if they had bought me a video game, they wouldn't have cared, that type of thing, right? But they didn't. So, and that was all
Interesting.
sensationalism. Do you have any? Were you? Was there any satanic panic worry for you growing up, where you weren't allowed to do certain
It's
things?
funny you would say that. It actually wasn't me, but my cousin lived next door to me, and her mom, MTV was the devil.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Growing
right.
up in the 80s, and they weren't allowed to watch MTV. They said, and then I think it was either, might have even been like Def Leppard or like some crazy
Well,
rock band they weren't
yeah.
allowed to listen to.
Twisted
And they all,
Sister.
yeah, it was all, yeah, like satanic stuff to them. But yeah, it was definitely part of that whole. And so as soon as their mom would leave, my cousin would put on MTV and all the stuff we weren't
Yeah.
allowed to actually watch.
Right.
Um, and Dungeons and Dragons was definitely part of it. I remember I mean, not for me, but like, not what's it called? Well, it was my cousins. It wasn't
Yeah.
my mom didn't do that, but I had
Yeah.
heard about it. And then I remember too, one of my roommates growing up. Well, like I was a kid, but we had roommates, and he had like a Dungeons and Dragons like guidebook or something, and
Okay.
it out in the garage. And I remember I don't remember if it was my mom or somebody was like, "Oh, you don't read that and don't
Yeah.
touch
Yeah.
that,"
Yeah.
and
That's awesome.
it was yeah, that was definitely real.
No, I
I mean, the
know. Yeah.
panic.
And it turns out most of the time, the worst thing that kids did when they were playing Dungeons and Dragons was overdose on Pepsi and Doritos. And that's something that I would do back in the day, anyways. Maybe not Pepsi,
Yeah.
but
Oh, Pepsi,
you
yum.
know. Oh yeah, you're Pepsi. Well, so what about clear Pepsi? Let's go
Yeah.
back in the day. Were you a clear Pepsi fan, or did you get a syringe in one of yours?
What the?
You don't
No,
remember
I
that? That's why they went away. There were
no,
syringes, probably part of the
no, I
Satanic
never.
Panic as well.
No, I was a Crystal Pepsi fan though, for
Yeah, it was
sure.
pretty good. Yeah. Tastes like
I
sugar.
remember I won a whole free year of Pepsi.
Oh my goodness.
Um, I don't know if it was Lucky or Safeway. They had a promotion. Actually, it was a Pepsi promotion, but we
Okay.
used to buy like the cubes of Pepsi because I would drink probably like 24 sodas in a week. Like I really would drink a lot.
Dang.
And
Yeah.
they had this game where like there was like words inside of the boxes back in the day, and it kind of like the like Monopoly boards that you get today from like
Uh-huh.
McDonald's, and like you
Yeah.
had to
I know.
collect all
Yeah,
these
I know what you're
different
talking about.
pieces and stuff.
Yeah.
And they had a promotion where if you found this one word, then you would get like a free Pepsi for a year. And I
Okay.
happened to find the word, and
What
then but what they did is they gave me 52
coupons?
coupons,
Yeah.
yeah, that I
Ugh.
could use
Yeah.
like every single week.
Can I use it all at
Um,
once, or did you ask that just like that,
I
or
I probably, but I don't remember if I could or couldn't. I don't know if they were. I don't remember now,
there
but
were like weekly coupons throughout? There was a coupon book for the year. Huh.
that's what I was wondering. I can't remember if it was that or if it was just 52 of them that expired, at the end of the year or something, and you could use as many. I don't remember, but no,
What was the word? Was it bird?
I know. I wish I could. Oh, stop
Okay.
it.
I'm sorry. I know you don't like that actually. So the bird is the
No, well, it's.
Hey, Mikey.
word. um. All right, Pepsi.
But
Danielle likes
anyways,
Pepsi. Yes.
yep.
So the Dungeons and Dragons dungeon crawler game. I do have this game now, and I will launch it. I'll play it from time to time. It's actually part of a collection that I have, but so it launches a DOS box on your PC, which is just a special launcher for old games. But it's cool. I love it. You see a DOS box, and you still even have to answer a clue from the book in order to launch it. And so thank God for the internet,
Oh,
because it so um, you can look it up on the internet, or these come with virtual guidebooks. So like a virtual version of this. But the books from back in the '80s for these DOS games, some of them were gigantic. So the copy that I have is Eye of the Beholder, I Barely Knew Her, 1, 2, and 3. Each standalone game has a manual, a clue book, and control. So it's 9 different books that it comes with basically. And
wow.
they open up as a Word doc. The control ones for each game is about 5 pages long or whatever, but the other two, the clue book and the manual, are both 50 pages each per game. So it's like I opened them all up once, and there's just like hundreds and hundreds of pages on how to play these Dungeons and Dragons with plenty of dungeons and no dragons dungeon crawler game. Um, and yeah, so I remember when I first got it. I got this on sale maybe like a year ago, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna print the guidebook." And
Oh
I
gosh.
didn't see like how many pages it was. I was like, "Oh, it's probably like 10 or 15. Like that's
Oh my
fine."
goodness.
And then I just like clicked print, and yeah, I had this like stack of it. I was like, "Oh crap!" I think I used all the ink. I'm pretty sure. But
I was gonna
anyways,
say you probably used all the ink and paper.
yeah, I think so. So that's okay. I still have it like with stuff drawn all over it now, and I don't even use it. But it was worth it. Um, and so yeah, that's a lot of words for a video game guidebook. But this was very common back in the day of DOS. like the King's Quest book that we had back in the day was like it was huge, like and it was just all sorts of lore and art and all that kind of stuff. And again, I think it was all free. I'd have to. I'll never know. My dad would know, and he's not around anymore. And my mom definitely
No.
wouldn't remember. So as far as I
Yeah.
remember, all that stuff was free, and I think I'll keep the memory that way. So.
Yep.
Um, so the Dungeons and Dragons games that have plenty of dungeons but no dragons, and it's a dungeon crawler game. They're very simple, but they're also quite tricky. It's Dungeons and Dragons, so there's lots of little things to know, but at the same time, the classic dungeon crawler is perfect for Danelle. I mean, your main objective is walking around. Literally, each step is a new scene. And the story is always like, "Hey, something weird is happening underground. Let's go check it out." And then it's like, it caved in. We're stuck. Now we have to crawl through this dungeon. I hope no things are down here. There's things. Kill them. Like that's the story. Then you walk some more. You can walk forward. You can walk backwards. You can walk left. You can walk right. You can even turn. I mean, I know I've said basically nothing about this game. Like I haven't described any dungeons or dragons, even though the name says dragons.
Yep.
And there's not dragons. But based on all the different ways you can walk, I think alone this game might be for you because you can walk, like I said, forward,
Walk
backward,
it out. Now
right.
walk it out.
You can walk it out, and like a lot of old DOS games, you can name your characters. Like so, you travel with the party in these games, and kind of like Oregon Trail. And so
Ooh.
you can name each one of your characters. And I bet I was imagining like so if Jeff played this game, what would he name his party of four? And I came up with Jeff, Jeff one, other Jeff, and Jeff again. Does that sound
Stupid.
about right? Jeff one. Okay,
Jeff
yeah. So
one.
see, not many people know this, but
Eh,
producer
I don't know.
oh, Eric's not sure. I just
That was
revealed a
perfect.
secret. We don't have producer Jeff on the show. Actually, who we have is Jeff One. Nobody knows
Oh
what
my
really happened to the
gosh.
original Jeff. Some say he's still walking around pointing at things and taking too long to start a sentence. So Jeff One is our producer now. Anyways, back to the game, which I still really haven't talked about. I haven't, but yeah, I have. Dungeon, walking around, Jeff One. I covered it. It's a lot of fun. I like these games. Let's move on to our next game. Roger Rabbit, or Who Framed Roger Rabbit, or
What?
whatever it was,
There was a
for the
DOS game for
for
this?
DOS. Oh, this. Yeah, I love this one. There was a
I would
Nintendo.
love to play that.
No,
What?
yeah, yeah. They had an NES Roger Rabbit, but the DOS
I
game
think I
was
remember
different.
that.
Yeah, the DOS
Hmm.
game was shorter, but it was really cool. It was really colorful, like so we had this game or whatever, and we always lost the guidebook for it, so we could never find the passwords to launch it. When I say we, I mean like me and like my brother. Like and then we would find the book, and we would be all excited, and then we must have thrown the book willy nilly into the air, clearly drunk from our excitement of finding the password to launch the game, into a pile of clothes or other books or something. Because I swear, we always lost the guidebook for it. But when we did have the code, I loved playing it. It was super tough, and I wasn't really old, so everything was tough. But still, I always wanted to play it. And it was kind of ahead of its time. It had a lot of variety in gameplay. And it only had 4 levels, but each level was different. So, um,
Roger Rabbit DOS.
DOS, yeah. And I could describe the levels to you, Danelle, but I'm going to let Wikipedia do that instead. So, in the first level,
Yeah.
the player must drive Benny the cab to reach the Ink and Paint Club before the
Oh.
Toon Patrol does, and he's jumping and swerving and avoiding cars and puddles of dip on the road. That's what that stuff's called, dip. I call it the green stuff. It's dip.
Dip.
The second level is set within the club. Here, the player must pick up all the sheets of paper being laid on the tables by the penguin waiters, since one of them is Marvin Acme's will. Very, very,
Oh.
including the story in this old DOS game. I mean, nobody did that, right? So you have to avoid picking up whiskey drinks or being grabbed by the club's gorilla bouncer, naturally.
Hmm.
Um, the third level is another race against the Toon Patrol Acme's Gag Factory, but you're like on the roofs, and it's more like of a platformer. And then the fourth, you have to use various joke items to get past the weasels. You got to stop Doom, and you got to save Jessica Rabbit from being obliterated by Doom's dip cannon until she's like hanging there, and the dip cannon's like slowly making its way towards her, and it's actually terrifying.
Hmm.
And I could never beat the game. I always got to the last level, and I never beat it, and that
Oh
made me really sad
no.
back then. It makes me
Yeah.
sad now just thinking about it. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, the graphics were
Oh.
good and colorful, but man, very sad now. The game over screen, it shows Roger looking all dejected, and he says, "I lost. I can't believe it. I shan't believe it." He says, and I'm pretty sure in this case Jessica Rabbit dies because you didn't save her in time, and then she gets sprayed with the dip. Which makes
Isn't chewing tobacco called dip? That's what I keep thinking of every time you say it.
it is or can be, or I think dip, chaw, spit,
Yeah.
cooey. Um, chewing tobacco. Ugh. You like chewing tobacco, Jeff? Yes. Okay. Um, well, all this talk about Jessica Rabbit dying and chewing tobacco and dip makes me really hungry, Jeff. If you know what I mean.
Snacks? Snacks? Snacks?
Oh
Snacks?
God. Snacks.
All right. Good job, Jeff. He was on the ball there.
I have
Jeff
played
won.
one DOS game in my life. That's it.
Oh, let's hear it. I want to hear it.
Hugo's House of Horrors. You ever heard of that?
That sounds sort of familiar. I should look it up.
I bought it at Payless or
Of course you did.
Longstrugs because they used to have a little
Hugo's
section of computer games there.
right.
Um,
Or software. It's just called
and
software when you Google it. Oh yeah, I remember. I remember this. I don't think I
I
played it,
think
but I
it.
remember seeing it.
I think it was really tough for me too. I think it was one of those ones where you had to exactly you're talking to type things,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
could never. I think I never could figure out what I was supposed to do. Like I think I would type in the wrong thing, and I either couldn't open doors or I
Yeah,
don't. I remember
very
being
specific action usually that you had to do.
yes, and
Yeah,
I never could figure it out. I remember I tried, and then I got somewhere, and then I stopped because I was frustrated, and then I picked it up again a long time later, and then I think I still couldn't figure it out. But
yeah. You need the guidebook. It's stupid.
yeah.
Yeah. Leisure Suit Larry is one of those DOS games where you type, and that is hilarious. You should download
Oh
Leisure Suit Larry
no.
and then use the internet to walk you through it and just play it. It's great.
Yes.
Um, so for snacks,
Yes.
I toss the word favorite around a lot. I feel like, which defeats the meaning of the word. When so many things are my favorite, week in and week out, like every week. And this is like a
Yeah.
bit straight from Howard Stern. There's a guy on there who everything is his favorite, and Howard's always like, you can't have everything be your favorite because then that wouldn't be your favorite. You can have one
I
favorite, but
guess.
anyways, I like a lot of things. Is what I'm saying. Sue me.
Me
Actually,
too.
don't
Yeah.
sue me.
I
Don't sue.
yeah, no.
Sue Jeff. Sue Jeff one.
No.
Um,
Oh
Jeff
yeah.
one's fine.
Okay.
You can sue Jeff one.
Oh yeah.
So Planters dry roasted peanuts salted might just be my favorite snack. Uh,
Really?
and it makes sense when you think about it. I'm always talking about peanut butter and everything, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I
Those
can't.
salty nuts.
I can't. Weedly do. I can't buy them anymore. I mean, I don't buy them much because I will eat the whole canister as fast as possible. And every time I do buy them, I'm like, oh, I could have a handful a day and leave it at that. It's a handful here. It's a handful there. It's a screw it bowl, full sit down session. I love them. They send me into a trance
I
sometimes.
do.
Yeah, and sometimes I eat them with chopsticks, one at a time, and I can do
What
that
is
for
wrong
hours.
with you? Oh my gosh. I guess
Like
that's a
if
good
I'm,
way of eating them slow.
it is, and it's fun, and it's good for my chopstick practice, and
Yeah.
dexterity, and if there's
Yeah.
let's say football on, and I have the peanuts, chopsticks it is, and then sometimes it'll be like, you know, uh, and I think as I get older, that's what I will do. I'll just
Rah, 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 rah.
I'll eat them one at a
Oh,
time with chopsticks for hours on end at the beach or the lake. Like when I'm old, I'll just sit there for hours with my chopsticks and my
I
peanuts.
can't remember. Are you a Cheetos chopstick person too?
Um, so I definitely when I was testing console, like so at EA or on live or anything like that, I in that case I would be, because I hated like getting up to wash my
D-
hands so I didn't get it all over the controllers and that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
Shout out to the testers who ate Doritos at their station and didn't wash their hands. Luckily, like at OnLive, like our equipment was like our equipment. Like, it was still their equipment, but you didn't have to like go to a controller bin or anything. Like you had your own. So, but shout out to those guys. Like they
Yeah.
did what they wanted to do. Um, so I maybe once or twice a year I buy Planters dry roasted peanuts. Like usually around Christmas time, which is funny enough. Like the only
Oh.
it's the only time I also buy like a bottle of whiskey for myself. So like once a year around the
Ooh.
holidays, I buy whiskey and
Do you
peanuts.
eat them together? The nuts
Yeah,
and the
yeah, I
whiskey?
think I do.
I could see
That's my
that.
splurge, and they go together, you know.
Yeah.
But stay tuned. There's something a drink that goes better than
Okay.
whiskey. But and now listen, you know, this isn't up for debate. Uh, they have to be dry roasted. No unroasted, you know, like just salted, unroasted, the oily peanuts with just the salt. Those are for the birds. I mean, I'll eat them if I have to, but I won't be happy about it. And
Hmm. I
and
don't
you
think I
might
remember the difference. I don't know which ones I think I like
dry
them
roasted
all. I
has
don't.
like kind of like the coating of like seasoning almost, and then like the non-roasted ones is more like oily and
I
like,
think
you
I
know,
don't mind that. I
I don't
think
mind it. It's not as good. And
hmm.
I'm gonna say this, and you might get mad at me. Honey roasted is just all right.
That's my favorite. I could
Okay, a
eat the
lot of
whole
people like it.
entire thing of honey
I
roasted.
mean, it's sugar
Oh
peanuts,
my
of
gosh.
course, right?
Yeah,
I think they're good for a
exactly.
handful, not an entire tube. For me, Planters
Yeah.
likes tubes. Even their cheese balls come in tubes.
Tube socks.
Tube socks. The tube socks come in peanut tubes. Planters doesn't make tube socks. Um,
They should. Filled with
so
peanuts.
they should. They should. There's like so many opportunities for the pause menu sound, but
Hmm.
so my mom still has this in her garage, and so I think it was probably my dad's, but we have this super old school Planters peanuts like dispenser, almost like a gumball dispenser thing,
Okay.
but it's for peanuts. So you fill it up,
What did you
and
say?
then like you didn't have to put a coin in it or anything, uh, and
Wow.
Jeff
Well, what?
Jeff just
Where do
cracking
you
up every time I say
where do you
peanuts.
even get it?
I don't like. I think my dad just had it like from college. Like I think it's that old. Like it's really old.
Wow. And do
And
you
I
use
remember
it?
like for the Super Bowl, for example, like when I was a kid, like they would
Okay.
bust it out and you could just like turn the
Okay.
thing and it would come out. You know, whatever.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um,
Does it say planners on it and all
yeah,
that?
it has Mr. Peanut. It says planners. It's like,
Oh,
you know,
that's
some of the
cool.
paint's fading a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like wooden,
Hmm.
so like it's probably pretty brutal.
Wow.
But this is one of my dad's favorite snacks too. So I remember, you know, he used this thing a lot, like back in the day. And I would love
Yeah.
to resurrect this dispenser. But I wrote down, I think it's from the 50s. It's probably more, if anything, the 60s. It's still pretty old, but uh,
Yeah.
that means that there was probably peanuts from the 60s in there at some point. I'm pretty sure it's been cleaned, like, you know, every once in a while.
Oh.
But so I don't know. I'm weird. I could end that sentence right there, but let me continue. Um, I'm also weird when it comes to eating uh, this particular snack. So sometimes I chew them until the cows come home. I chew them like a cow, and they basically
Oh.
become peanut butter. You know, after a while. Um, Sometimes I half-ass chew them, like I don't bite down all the way. I just and I kind of just break them up, and then I'll swallow them, and they're all kind of it's like really chunky, you know, and I'll eat them. Then back in the day, like maybe high school, I sometimes I would swallow them whole. Not
What?
like every single one, not like a whole tube, but like a couple bites here and there. I just like would swallow them whole a few at a time because I just liked it for some reason. And I said I was weird. Okay, so um,
That's okay. We have our thing.
yeah, it's just like a million ways to eat peanuts. Uh,
I had no idea actually, but now you just taught me
I
something.
said only three ways, and I called it a million. But here's what's not weird to know, and I can't explain why. But dry roasted peanuts with almost any orange drink is the best combo. I don't know why. It doesn't matter what the
Okay.
orange drink is. Could be orange juice. Could be Fanta. Could be Orange Gina.
Oh, slice.
Slice. Did any. it could be orange drink, doesn't matter. There's some cosmic chemical reaction when an orange drink is mixed with Planters dry roasted peanuts.
I should
And
try this.
listen, that it has to be Planters and it has to be dry roasted. Like I remember back in the day, Lucky's had a house brand of their dry roasted that maybe was a close second, but I don't go to Lucky anymore. And other brands, they're just it's just not it, man. I don't know. Planters
Hmm.
has the peanuts game down. Go figure.
I know they're just expensive.
Yeah, no, I mean that's probably also why I buy it once a year for Christmas. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
but I think they are the OG. They're
they're
like the
they're
best.
home of the P Funk, the bomb. Do you think Mister Peanut eats peanuts? He seems to be selling them,
Oh,
and he is a peanut. Um,
good question.
does Mrs. Peanut, my new name for Danelle, want to hear what game we're pairing with our peanuts? What game are we pairing with our peanuts today, Danelle?
Yeah. Please. Dang it, I was trying to find some P. Please, I was like prepare, but
Yeah, I
please
will.
prepare your peanut pairing
Pairing paragraph. Um,
pleasure. I don't know.
okay. Well, it's
For our peanut
Hoyle.
pairing pleasure, what
Or
game do you have?
is it Hoyle? Hoyle classic card
What?
games. From
Oh, yeah. How do I say? You're right. I have no idea how to say
it's
that word.
I always said Hoyle, but Hoyle.
Uh,
Uh,
Oil.
um,
I hardly know him.
yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
So it's from the DOS goat Sierra, who made King's Quest and all that. So this was just a collection of card games. It had hearts, it had euchre, it had gin, rummy, it had cribbage, it had old maid, it had crazy eights, and it had Klondike. Crazy eights.
Klondike.
Sorry.
Klondike's a game.
So yeah, Klondike is I'll get to that in a second. Klondike is a game. It's
Okay.
one of the ones that I played.
Huh.
But since it was Sierra's in the house. You could choose from different Sierra game characters, not as your avatar, but as like the avatars of like your opponents. And it had like it was really cool, really beautiful pixel art, but it was like portrait styles of the characters. And
Hmm.
uh, you should look it up, like Sierra Hoyle characters. But
I will right now.
I think every character had a drinking problem because they were all kind of reddish and had like an unsettling gleam in their eyes, and it was almost like
Eh.
their eyes followed you, like a creepy haunted painting. And I liked it.
Oh, I do see. What the heck? Why are they all
Yeah,
red?
they're all red. Yeah,
They're all allergic to alcohol.
yeah. So I think I probably played Crazy Eights the most, and then also Klondike, which uh, I
Hmm.
missed an opportunity to pair my snack pairing should have been Klondike bar, and I can't talk about it now
Oh.
because what would I even say? At this point, Klondike bars are ice cream coated in chocolate, and they're pretty darn good. And people apparently will do dirty and nasty things just to eat one, presumably for
They're
free.
okay. I don't really care for
Yeah.
them. I wouldn't do anything for a Klondike bar.
That's funny. I said, that's our bonus snack today. What would you do for one, Janelle? And it sounds like you would just pass and you would get an It instead.
I mean, if it was free and I just asked somebody, I guess what would I do? Could I have that?
Yeah, I would ask, what would you do?
I
You
would
would tell
ask
someone?
for
That's
one.
crazy. You know?
Yeah.
Um, but so Klondike is a card game as well.
Oh,
And
I
so
didn't know that.
Klondike was solitaire, basically. It's a type of solitaire.
Oh.
It's the solitaire that
Oh.
everyone knows is Klondike. There's like, a million ways to play
What?
solitaire, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I played like Old Maid, Klondike,
Oh,
and Crazy Eights
babe.
the most. I played the other one. I was never any good at them because I just didn't know how to play them. And besides, gin doesn't even go with rummy unless you're drinking one of those drinks that has all the booze in them. But nobody really likes those, like an Audio Stem Effer or a Long Island. Nobody likes those drinks actually.
I
Uh,
just had one of those at Cheesecake Factory.
do you like it or do you just like the booze? Right? Like, do you like
Both.
the taste? Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
my bad.
But the thing is I mean, I should have known because it was at Cheesecake Factory. No, no, I'm not trying to badmouth them because I love Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah,
But for
please. They
most
need to
most of those
sponsor
kind of
us.
places, yeah, Cheesecake sponsor us.
Yeah.
They don't put enough alcohol, just like a lot of
Oh,
those
right.
places don't.
Yeah.
And so when I had gotten it, like it usually they're strong when you get a Long Island,
Yeah.
and
Strong Island.
it was just meh,
Oh, okay.
and it was $16 for the drink.
Ugh. $16,
So
little man. Put that shit in my hand. Sorry. If that money doesn't show, then you owe me. Owe me. Oh. Um. So yeah, cards. You can
gin with gin rummy. No,
Gin
yeah.
Rummy. F that game. So you can choose your deck, and there's all sorts of cool pixelated animated designs. I personally like the beach setting with the sun going down. Um,
Ooh.
and then you have to pick your opponent's characters from the screen, and it shows all the characters. And I remember you know they look like drunk haunted paintings, so it's a little
And there's a
jarring.
dog?
Yeah, there's a dog. Um, and yeah, Leisure Suit Larry, I believe, is next to the dog up top. And Leisure Suit Larry has seen way better days than he's shown in this light. Quite the bender he's been on. And then you can click on their faces, and they would like make faces at you, and they would like say like a big text box would
Yeah,
pop
this one
up.
says, "Hi, I'm Jerry. I've been animator for Sierra since 1983, and
Yes.
Toil is my most recent project. So if you don't like the graphics in this game, don't tell me."
Uh-oh. Well, I'm not saying I don't like him. I'm saying I love him actually, but it's like there's something about him too that's just like, oh, it's kind of creepy. Um,
Yep,
but it's very
hilarious.
charming. It's got a lot of personality and charm. It's creepy.
Card games are
Um,
classic too. I mean, you can't go wrong with card games, and
yeah.
I don't think they're ever gonna die. And it's one of the easiest things, like when you go camping and
Oh
when
yeah.
you go on road trips, like you can just cards.
Everyone knows card games, even if it's
Yeah,
Uno. Everyone knows card games. So,
yeah.
um,
Hmm.
so Old Maid's a weird game. I kind of went,
I
on
think I know that one, but I
a
thought it
quick.
was with like pictures and stuff.
Well, they do have that, but it's like you get pairs, and then
Okay.
uh, you get rid of your pairs, and then you always draw from the person to your right or something like that, and then you basically want to get rid of your deck. If you get the old maid,
What's the old maid?
well, it's a joker usually, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, when you play with actual cards.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's just it's a weird game. It's a game of chance and luck. But it's especially weird in this game because you have to like choose all your Sierra characters to be on screen with you, and like they're all chatty in the beginning, and they all say weird things, and their eyes kind of dart back and forth, and they make faces, and it's like kind of discombobulated, and like the music's kind of like like weird like circus music in the background. It's like a fever dream. Um, and it's funny. So I watched a video of someone playing it, and the guy in the video said he used to play this all the time, and that he had no idea how they even got it, and I don't remember how we got this game either. And so I think this is maybe a case of the game magically appearing in people's houses, kind of like those tiger handheld games.
Yes, I was just gonna say that.
Same thing with this game; it just appeared. Either that, or our memory just isn't perfect, and we just don't remember how we got it. But
Yep.
yeah, it had Rosella from King's Quest, the one I just mentioned, a few segments ago. So that I was sold. Peanuts and playing card games. What do you think? I think that they go hand in hand, right? Pun intended.
Absolutely.
Get it? They're a
Oh my
perfect pair. Get
gosh.
it? Sorry.
Wow.
Cards. Anyone?
I'm with it. I'm here for it 100%.
Sweet.
Cuz you could eat with one and then play your cards
Yeah.
with the other.
All you need is a mouse. To play like card games and stuff. So.
Oh, well yeah, that's right. We're talking about DOS stuff. We're not talking about real cards. Same thing.
Oh, true.
Peanuts in
Yeah.
one hand, mouse in another.
Right. Um.
I like it.
You love it. You want some more of it.
Some more of it.
All right.
Mhm.
All right, Dino. Well, we're going to move on to our last segment of the day. I know it's very sad, but it's Rapido Firo, and this segment's called Danelle. I said Danelle makes passwords. Danelle finds passwords is more accurate.
What?
Now, I'm going to need you to bring up, Wikipedia or whatever, and
Oh,
and I'll
okay.
explain to you kind of
Yeah,
what
what
this
the
segment
heck?
is. So I had
Okay.
mentioned earlier, right? For most of these games, you had to have a book with clues to find a password in order to launch the game. Um,
Okay.
this was, for context, for our history fans out there, this was an early method of proof of ownership, essentially, to avoid piracy or, something, that kind of stuff. It's like, now they have digital codes. Back in the day, you had to, like, find a code from a book that you owned in order to launch it. Um, so I thought it would make sense for Danelle to do some work in order to find out the password for 3 DOS games that we'll someday make and publish under our Double Shift retro label. Um, Double Shift back in the day, it's what it's called, the label. I don't know. We'll work on the name. So I made up 3 DOS games, and I'm gonna have you find the password for them, and I'll kind of walk you through it. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
The first DOS game is called Dead Air Dungeon, and this is a dungeon crawler where you shut down ham radio trolls. It's a dungeon crawler game. You get to walk around now. On Wikipedia, to find the clue for the password for the phrase to launch this game, I want you to look up Spanish Flea on Wikipedia. You can Google it and click
Spanish flea?
Spanish Flea.
Okay.
Now let me know when you're there. Now, do you
I'm
see
there.
any links to Herb Alpert? Any links to Herb Alpert?
Yes.
Click him.
Okay. Oh, he's kind of handsome.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, there in the first paragraph, there's a song. You're going to see a song that he was famous for. It should be linked, but maybe not. Read me the first 2 words in that first song you see listed in that first paragraph.
Um,
There's one song, and the first 2 words, it should be in quotes.
this guy's?
This guy. That's your
Oh
answer. You
my
can now
gosh.
launch Dead Air Dungeon, Danelle. Congratulations.
You're
All right.
ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
The next game is called Viking Law. And this game's going to be a brawler, kind of like Golden Axe. And it's loosely based on a book called Njal's Saga. I don't even know if I said that right. It's essentially credited with a lot of ancient Viking law practices that we still use today. And so this is going to be our second game in our retro line. But for this password, for this
Nice.
phrase, then I'm going to need you to Wikipedia Harry Chapin. Harry Chapin. Chappin. Harry Chapin.
Okay.
Now I'm going to need you to scroll down to his discography section, which is maybe down towards the bottom, but he should have a discography section. And I want you to find his album Remember When the Music.
Hold on. I'm in the wrong. It says I can't find him.
Oh no. Oh, this is terrible.
Uh,
Oh, this is just awful. It's a good thing we're a little ahead of schedule, but you'll find him. Harry Chapin. And no, that's not like a name that Beavis and Butthead would come up for.
okay. I see
Harry
now. Got
Chapin.
it.
All right,
Yep.
scroll down to discography. Should be towards the bottom, and find Remember When the Music, and click that.
Mm, discography.
Yep. Remember When the Music. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm making you work for this password.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Got
And now
it.
read me track number 12.
Oh my goodness.
What
Oh
is it?
man.
There's your answer. You can now launch Viking Law. Last one to know.
I see where you're going with all these.
Last one to know, and then we'll get out of here. This last one is for a game called Garage Door Simulator. I think I've mentioned this
Oh.
before, but this is a management sim where you own a garage door repair shop and you have to send goons out in the middle of the night to break garage doors to get more business during the day.
Wow.
So I'm going to need you to Wikipedia number 3. Type out number and type out 3.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow. And that's not
Oh
the answer.
wow. Ah, should be.
And so let me know when you've Wikipedia.
I'm.
And so
Yep.
you should see some options because it's like, what are you talking about? You should see the actual number 3 and then parentheses number.
Yeah. I'm on the one that just says 3.
Okay, now should be able to scroll down to a section that says 330s. 330.
Oh wow. Really?
Yeah, you should be able to. And your answer is in the
mm,
330s. And you can probably answer it now so if you want to stop scrolling because, I mean, come on.
well, I don't know. 333.
Yep, there's your answer. You don't even need the book. You can now launch Garage Door Simulator. Good job, Danelle. Danelle, what have you learned today, Danelle?
Um. There's a lot of DOS games that I didn't
Ooh.
know existed.
We didn't even scratch the surface. Oh my
I
goodness.
know.
We never
It
have
was
enough time.
it was not some I was not really into DOS games, but only because CD-ROMs were so popular that I
Right.
just wanted to buy CD games at
Right.
that time.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I bought Hugo's. I think just because it looked cool and I was there, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
there's a bunch I want to play. I've got to check out Roger Rabbit. That one seems really cool.
Yeah. That one was fun and colorful and sad. Now I'm sad again. Um,
Oh.
well, it's a good
Well,
thing. Like we actually made pretty good time today. So I
we should
think
be
we
able
have
to
enough
talk
time.
about, yeah.
Yeah,
Jeff, don't
BD
you cut
Bobby
us
Flay,
off.
right? Everyone has to do this at some point in their lives. Jeff, do we have enough time for this today, or you son of a gun, cutting me off?
Never enough time with Jeff.
Jeff one has to go apparently. So that means it's time to say goodbye, Danelle.
Goodbye, Danelle.
And with that, we live you. We live you. We leave you.
We live you.
50 ways to leave your lover
Liver.
and the liver of the double shift toast. You won't have a liver after this double shift toast.
Liver alone.
I'll raise my empty glass of water to you. May your gamer score be heavy and your backlog be light. May your connection be strong and your aim precision tight. May your Joy-Cons be as mighty as the ocean, but never should they drift. And for all you QA pirates out there, you'll survive. Yar, double shift.
Yarr. Oh, I should have.
Oh, we can wait for you to drink. Later, Hosen.
Ice cold. Bye.
Bye.